The truth has finally been revealed. A report breaks down the future of the Baltimore Orioles plan. What is Mike Elias going to do, and who is on the move? Welcome to Orioles Digest. I'm your host, Kam Brice, and we have a ton to talk about today. We have the MLB trade deadline, we have the MLB draft, and we also have buyers or sellers at the deadline. By the end of this video, you'll know everything on the Baltimore Orioles. Before you do anything, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications. We're giving you daily updates about the Baltimore Orioles every single day that you don't want to miss. So let's get into our first topic of the day. Yes, Mike Elias admits that the team is selling. He finally admitted. Mike Elias finally has came out in the public and says, we're selling at the deadline. We have players available. We're looking to bring in prospects, draft capital to stock up for 2026. So we're going to take a deep dive into this article, give you everything about this article. We're going to go to the quotes. I'm going to take a deep dive into a little quotes that Mike Elias said. We're going to change our camera angle in a little bit so you guys can see deeper into what this article is about to be out. So let's get into it. Okay. Let's start. Okay. Let's start at the top. All right. So now this all started from an interview. Baltimore Sun Mike Elias interviewed Jake Real and also of MLB.com had an interview with Mike Elias. He asked Mike Elias what is his thoughts at the deadline. This was after the stretch. This was after the Orioles have already basically losing the series to the Marlins, going to their third game. Before Kyle Stowers had that 3 home run game, these articles and these quotes were already released. So Elias says the struggle, he didn't expect the season to come this way. He didn't expect the injuries to happen. He didn't expect this many catchers. He talked about how Basalo time he still needs to develop a little bit more behind the plate, but he could become a September call up. They're not saying they will call him up this year, but they're not counting him out. Now for that, you already know they call him up in August. You get the extra draft pick. He wins Rookie of the Year. You get another draft pick. You get compensation. You get an extra year of control. It's all about compensation. I mean, we hate it. It happens in the MLB today, but hey, that's what players have to go through. It sucks. We can't see Samuel up here now, but that's just how the business works. So, Elias did say they want a return to position them for future success. So, does this mean he wants an ace level pitcher? Does this mean he wants a young prospect that's 20 years old, that's in AAA, that's on his way to the MLB, as a left hander that throws 98, 99? There's not a lot of guys out there that you can give up. Who can you give up? Ryan O'Hearn and Cedric Mullins. What are those two going to give you? Maybe a young star prospect, maybe a guy who's been in the majors, has a high 3 ERA, maybe a bullpen guy who's been very strong, and then a veteran infielder. That's what it can give you. It can't give you no prospect. We're not going to get no Paul Skeens or even a guy as the tier of like Jack Flaherty or Tyler Glasnow type of guys or Sandy Alcantara type of guys. So you're not going to get a big return. Now, last year, if you would have traded Heston Kjerstad, like I said, instead of trading Kyle Stowers, you would have got more in return. You probably would have never got Trevor Rogers. You probably would have got somebody better. Probably could have got Blake Snell and extended him and had him and Corbin Burns last year, but that's a different story for a different day. Right now, the Baltimore are in this situation because Mike Elias has not been good. All right. But it also says the front office cannot operate this way. And even at the bottom of the standings, this team still believes they have a chance. And even though Mike Elias said he's selling, he's not giving up on the season. That confuses me because this doesn't show all the article, but if you go in deeper into the article, he says he liked the return, which is why he decided to make the move he did for Brian Baker. So he liked the return for first round draft pick. And then in those first round draft picks, you went out and drafted 2 catchers and you drafted 2 pitchers, but you drafted a pitcher with the upside that tops out at 92, 93 miles an hour. No, we want a guy that tops out 98, 99. Slider sitting around 93, 94. We want a guy with elite stuff that can beat a Paul Skeens. That's what we need to add with Gunnar Henderson and Jackson Holliday and Adley Rutschman if he bounces back, and Colton Cowser. So that's what we want, Jordan Westbrook. I'm going to keep saying names because I don't want to forget these names because and Félix Bautista, because these guys are very crucial to the season success. It's not just one player. But just think about Mike Elias and what these moves are going to do. This team has to sell. I've said it. They have to sell. They got to find moves. Félix Bautista, he has a 0.59 ERA since his last 16 starts. So that's a guy you're not going to move. You got to keep him. It looks like he's getting back to his normal self again. And if he can get to his normal self, that means he can elevate it up to another level when he's healthy next year. You got a guy like Adley Rutschman coming back. Tyler O'Neill has been a disappointment. I know he has a player option, but he's going to accept that because it's a lot of money. I don't think he's going to get anywhere another opportunity. That's a miss. It's just that we have to be sellers at the deadline. This is what the Baltimore's have to do in order to succeed. If they want to go far next year or if they want to have World Series aspirations in the next 5 years, Mike Elias has to stop. And I don't mean stop just drafting and stop doing things he needs to do. Stop the way you run things. Stop the way you system, because it seems like guys always leave the Baltimore system with Mike Elias and they find better places and they succeed. And I talked about this on my podcast earlier. If you guys do not follow my podcast, make sure you follow us. The Let's Talk About It podcast. We talk about the Baltimore everything. Let's Talk About It podcast. I'll comment my podcast within below. Make sure you follow. Yes, all of that, we do all of that. And I talked about it and I was like, yeah, this team just doesn't give guys the opportunity. And some guys, they give the wrong opportunities. Like last year, it should have been Kobe Mayo and Kyle Stowers. And instead it was Kobe Mayo and Heston Kjerstad. You chose Heston Kjerstad over Kyle Stowers. And Kyle Stowers obviously is better in the field, is a better hitter, and is more athletic. And has that type of energy and the swagger that you love in a player. And his first moment was hitting a clutch home run when he got put in a pinch hit situation out of nowhere. And you guys never gave him a fair opportunity after that. And it was just pinch hit after pinch hit, series after series. And he was just dominating AAA until he went to Miami. He finally got every opportunity. Now he's an all-star. So I talk about it all the time. It's situations that matters. And the Baltimore just don't put their players in the right situation. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you for joining Orioles Digest. We just talked about the MLB draft a little bit. Didn't go too deep into the draft picks and everything. Had that on the Let's Talk About It podcast. My boy Tyler did a deep breakdown of the Orioles draft. If you want to know, search up Let's Talk About It podcast on YouTube. I'm your host from Orioles Digest. John will be doing another video on the MLB draft. It was released earlier today. He detailed everything you need to know about the prospects in the Baltimore system coming up in 2027. So it was a fun draft. Day 2 is here. We should see what the Baltimore Orioles get. Surprising moves. All-Star break is here. No Orioles games next week. MLB trade deadline. We will have a lot of information involved in the MLB trade deadline. Right now, I don't have a lot of information. All we know is the Baltimore Orioles will finally, officially be sellers at the trade deadline.